Hello everyone, welcome back again with this channel. So today we will discuss about weighted index and unweighted index. But first, what we're gonna learn on this material is, the first is, did you know about index numbers? The second is, what is the weighted index and unweighted index? And three is, types of weighted calculation methods and formula description. And the fourth is weighted aggregate price index. There are two methods. And the fifth is unweighted index. And there are examples of weighted index and unweighted index. So let's jump on into the material. First, did you know about index numbers? Index numbers are a very popular statistical tool for measuring changes or making comparisons between economic and social variables. Changes or comparison between variables over time and expressed by index number are generally easier to understand. So, that is the definition of index numbers. On to the next. And the second is, what is weighted index and unweighted index? So, weighted index is a number in which the component items are weighted according to some system of weighted reflecting their relative importance. And what is the unweighted index? An unweighted index gives equal allocation to all securities within the index. A weighted index gives more weight to certain securities, typically based on market capitalization. And the third, we have types of weighted index calculation methods. Namely, first, weighted aggregate price index. The second is weighted aggregate production index. And the third, we have variation of weighted price index. And the last is variation of weighted production index. The formula description. First is L sub T.0 is equal to index number of year T compared to year base. And the second is P sub T equals to price of each product in year T. And the third is P sub 0 is equal to price of each product in base year. And the fourth is Q sub T equals to quantity of each product in year T. And fifth is Q sub 0 equals to quantity of each product in the base year. And last is N equals to number of products observed. Weighted aggregate price index. There are two methods used in this calculation, namely last payers index and last year index. Definition of last payers index method is the last payers method applies the amount of goods in the base year to be weighed against a price. Last price index formula is equals to sigma open brackets P sub E point T close bracket times open brackets Q sub E point 0 close brackets divided by sigma open brackets P sub E point 0 close bracket times by open brackets Q sub E point 0 times by 100. And the second is the definition of partial index method. The partial method uses the quantity of amount of goods in the current year or the year that is used as a scale against the price. The of partial price index equals to sigma open brackets p sub e point t close brackets times open brackets key sub e point t close bracket divided by sigma open brackets sub p sub e point 0 close brackets times open brackets key sub e point t close brackets times by 100. Unweighted index. A relatively simple price index is an index consisting of only one kind of goods for both production index and the price index, for example, fish production index, rice price index, and other. And the second is aggregative index is an index that consists of several goods or groups of goods. For example, the price index of 9 materials tree. On the next, we have various unweighted calculation methods. That is, first, simple relative price index figures. Second is relatively quantity simple index number. Third, simple aggregate price index figures. Fourth, aggregative quantity simple index numbers. Fifth, simple index figures average relative prices. And the last is simple index number average quantity. On to the next, we have unweighted index formula. The first formula is simple relative price index figures. So the formula are I sub t point 0 equals to P sub t divided by P sub 0 times 100%. And the second we have relatively quantity simple index numbers. So the formula is I sub t point 0 equals to K sub t divided by K sub 0 times 100%. And on the third, we have simple aggregate price index figures. The formula are I sub t point 0 equals to sigma p sub t divided by sigma p sub 0 times 100%. And the fourth, we have aggregative quantity simple index number. So the formula is I sub t point 0 equals to sigma k sub t divided by sigma k sub 0 times 100%. On the fifth, we have simple index figures of relative prices. The formula is I sub t point 0 equals to 1 divided by n sigma open brackets p sub t divided by p sub 0 times 100% close brackets. And the sixth, we have simple index number average quantity. The formula is I sub t point 0 equals to 1 divided by n sigma open brackets k sub t divided by k sub 0 times 100% close brackets. Weighted index example. An example of weighted index. In this example, I use SPSS as a tool in analyzing the data that I use in this example. The table above can be interpreted that the GII stock price index is more tense to experience more aggressive and slower changes than the GCI and LQ45. It is suspected that there is a change in the share price of companies listed on GII. So, from this explanation, it was concluded that the GII stock price index experienced a slower movement and the index value was smaller than the composite stock price index and LQ45. So, this is a problem that the is the reason for researchers to investigate further the causes that affect the GIS stock price index movement. Unweighted index example. In this unweighted index example, I use BUMN fundamental data. In this example, I use SPSS as a tool in analyzing data. From the daily data of the two SOE indices that have been formed, it can be calculated 6 monthly and annual returns from the BUMN index with both methods. Then, based on the data obtained, a performance analysis was carried out and BUMN index efficiency. First is the method of analysis is to directly compare to the return on the future SOE's index to the SOE's fundamental index returns to see whether the risk in investing in the SOE fundamental index will also increase the return on investment. B, or the second, then the SOE index returns are compared directly with GCI and LQ45 returns to see whether investing in the SOE sectors is more profitable than investing passively or GCI or holding a portfolio of LQ45 index. The last BUMN index performance analysis is to compare the performance of BUMN index with the GCI and the LQ45 index using measuring tools such as the Sharpie and Trainer ratios. For this measurement, several supporting variables such as beta and standard deviation are needed. How to be able to analyze data like the example above? In this example above, we already know about SPSS. How to use SPSS? By downloading or install the SPSS application on your laptop or your personal computer. Then look for some accurate data or real data from web that you use, and from that data you can immediately fill in the data in this application. If it's still not clear, you can also watch the tutorial on using SPSS. That's all, guys. Earlier we have learned about index numbers, weighted and unweighted indexes, variation in index, and example of using indexes with SPSS tools. I hope this material can help you in completing your assignments in college or school, or can help you in everyday life. If any question about the material that we have discussed earlier, you can comment in the comment column below, or you wanna give an feedback to these videos, please comment in the comments column below. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to support this channel by clicking the likes and subscribe. Thank you, guys.